Yes, yes, indeed. There were some sound issues yesterday when we first started. So as y'all come in, please let me know if that is the case. But hopefully it's not because it was my mic was working earlier when I did stuff for TYT. Speaking of TYT, you can catch me this evening on the power panel. I'll be on hour two, and I will also be on the bonus episode for the TYT members to check out. And where a lot of what we'll be doing is making fun of Donald Trump and his absolutely terrible campaign. So, man, we gonna get straight into it. Let's see. Oh, it's 92 degrees, man. So I went for a run earlier this morning. I went for a run at like not like I don't know what like 9:30 or something. I was out there running. Sigourney, what's going on? How you doing today? Good to have you here. I'm doing well. I went for a run early this morning and it was only like 80 degrees, but the humidity was up and the sun was out, so it felt like it was 90 something. And now it's in the 90s. Distracted Gardener, what's going on? How you doing? I am super relaxed. I'm feeling good. Fritza, Queen Fritza, we got Lakeside, we got Scott, brother Scott, Lakeside Dragon in the building. Everything is going well. So we got some stuff to review today. I mean, Donald Trump is he's gonna keep doing what he's been doing. He's been doing it. There's nothing new to see. Flaw Dragon, what's going on? How you doing today? There's really nothing new to see. There's stuff to talk about, but the idea that all of a sudden Trump's going to get it together, that's not going to happen. And it's actually kind of been funny to see. I mean, like I get why Republicans are, like the pundits and people are saying, "Hey, Donald Trump, you need to focus on this instead of this." But I mean, y'all are acting like all of a sudden he's off track. Donald Trump has always been off track. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Republicans like him so much. Like when Frank Lucas, and we'll check it out. Erlinda, what's going on? Happy to have you here. We'll check it out. But like when hold on. Frank Lucas, stop acting like a petulant child. That's part of the whole reason why Republicans like Donald Trump so much is the fact that he acts like a petulant child. The fact that he never walks anything back. He tells it like it is, even though he just lies out of his ass 24/7. Like he doesn't tell it like it is. He just says things. I mean, yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago now. Oh, yesterday, he and we'll review that. He just is he's like, who told you to talk about the Medal of Honor? Who told you to bring that up? This dude talking about the Medal of Honor isn't as good as the Presidential Medal of Freedom because I gave it to somebody. I gave it to what's her name? Edelson, Miriam Edelson, I think her name is. I was like, dude, what? And then he went further. He was like, because people who get the Medal of Honor, they're all shut up. Like, who told you to say this? Like, why are you talking about this? And like I told you, bro, Donald Trump is never going to stop whining and complaining about the fact that he's not going against Joe Biden anymore. It's never going to stop. It's like his Donald James. Good to have you here. What's going on? Donald Trump's brain is like an empty hallway with a trash can that's just being rattled, like a metal trash can, and somebody got like some drumsticks. That's all that's going on in his head. And so it's what he said. Nearly 100%. This dude said over the last year, nearly 100% of net job creation has gone to migrants. Nearly 100% of the jobs have gone to migrants. So American citizens just aren't getting hired at all whatsoever. What about the corporate jobs? What about those jobs, the managerial jobs that migrants don't qualify for? Like, dude, what are you talking about? Who believes this bullshit? Who believes this? Even if you're like I mean, you got to be the most far gone of far gone MAGA chuds to believe that all the jobs are being taken by migrants. But again, it's like, how is this any different than anything he's ever done? It's not. This is the same. The first thing he said when he came down those escalator stairs in 2015 is Mexico sending in rapists and killers and their most violent. That's the first thing he said. So it's like, now that he's getting his ass kicked, he's not just losing, he's getting it. Donald Trump is getting his ass kicked. Now that that's happening, it's like, oh, well, Donald Trump, we really want you to run it back. I mean, to reel it in, bring it back, get focused. He's never been focused. And again, that's why Republicans like him so much. So stop kidding yourselves. Y'all just mad because he losing. It's so, and every day he makes it worse for himself because at the end of the day, Donald Trump is really thinking about not going to prison. That's really what he's thinking about because, like, unless he's president, he has a greater chance of at least dealing with the law negatively than otherwise. If he's president, he can pardon himself. If he's not, he can't. Of course, he's thinking about that. So it's just, I mean, it's really unbelievable. And then, you got people like Nancy Mace, who, who told you to go on there not only to say Kamala's name wrong, Kamala, I can say her name however I want. Like, oh, really? If I was on that panel, I would have started calling her ass Nathaniel. I swear to God, I would have started calling her Nathaniel. Y'all know I would. I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll be like, okay, Nathaniel. Be like, I really like that pink business suit you got on, Nathaniel. Show me your nails. I would start calling her all types of names that aren't her name. And then if she got mad, I would laugh in her face. Like, oh, so you can't take it? My name isn't Nathaniel. Well, her name isn't Kamala or whatever the hell you keep saying. Like, it's like these people, we need a new word for pathetic. Like, I mean, come on. Like, are you serious? Like, are you motherfuckers for real? JD Vance talking about, that's the whole reason for the postmenopausal female. Like, why are you talking about this? Yeah, because women after menopause, women no longer enjoy personal hobbies and like, like they don't have careers, they don't have maybe they like art, maybe they like to draw, maybe they like outdoor activities. Like, what are you talking about? It's just so strange. But we gonna get into it. Matter of fact, let's start off with Nancy Mace. I think I got a few tabs pulled up with this, but like, like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? They're not thinking, but this is their strategy. This is their playbook, and it's nothing new. Here we go.
Respect.
Trump injecting Vice President Harris's race and then suggesting that she's not actually black. Why is he doing that? Should he stop?
Well, I mean,
Yes or no?
I didn't hear him say it. I didn't hear what he said about her race. I am not going to weigh in on her race. As a woman,
I did say it.
You didn't hear it. Everybody else in the world, really, because there's America, so everybody pays attention to our elections because we basically, in a lot of ways, run the planet. So it's not just that Americans heard it, but people all over the world are hearing this. No, I don't know.
Okay, well, as a woman, I want to weigh in.
She turned black, he said. He said she was raised Indian. Now she was Indian, all he knew. Now she's turned black.
Well, she's a mixed race. She's a mixed race.
He said that to the National Association of Black Journalists.
Right.
He went to, and he said at the same event where he said he'd done more for black people than any president in history.
I guess here's the thing.
When he was president, wages for women were better than they've been in a long time. Wages for blacks were better than they've been in a long time.
Lowest black unemployment rate in history.
Yeah, Fritzl would be lighting there, but now Fritzl would be putting her hands on people. That's what we would see. She'd be lighting up, and the next thing we know, the whole table will be flipped over like Training Day. It would be just like that scene from Training Day. Flip over the table. Next thing you know, Fritzl would just be smacking everybody up.
He did a lot of good.
Let me just finish this to
for
both of you.
people from all walks of the country.
This doesn't take that much courage, honestly, to just say that was out of bounds.
I don't know what he said. I didn't see.
I don't know what he said.
She turned black. He questioned whether she was really black. I don't think that's that hard to say. That's out of bounds. Can you say that?
I mean, I didn't say it, and I would not say it.
Yes. Just say yes.
I can't.
Inability to pronounce her name.
We are out of time.
It's a very.
We are out of time.
It's a cult. They won't say anything that goes against the cult. Yes, you are. You are a cult member.
Are you kidding me?
It's a cult. If you won't speak out against the cult member, you're a cult. The cult leader is Donald Trump.
We are out of time
The
at the
fact
table.
that you talk to women this way is ridiculous.
You just talked about black
The fact that you talk to women that I mean, what do you even what a clown. What a clown. Nancy Mace is a clown. You know, you talking about so you ain't got nothing to say about race, but you, oh well, I'm a woman, so you can't shut up. I'm a woman, so I can be an idiot. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Nancy? Because you're a woman, you have the right to be stupid. What are you talking about? What are you getting at? But yeah, I mean, this shit is just it's unbelievably pathetic. Like the writing is so on the wall, and they're just making it worse. They're just making all of it worse for themselves.
Oh, you had it right. You almost got it.
Kamala's
Oh, you had it right. You almost got it. Almost did
name
it.
any way that I want to.
No,
but
but
Kamala's,
you mispronounce her and you also misjudge
I
her.
just did, and I'll do it again.
I can say her name any way that I want to. How old are you? How old are you, Nancy? How old are you? Are you 12? Is it really that serious? And again, this is damaging the whole Republican ticket. All of it is damaging it, and it absolutely is. Of course, it's damaging Trump's run. What are you like? What are you doing? What are you thinking?
Pronouncing her name.
That's what we're
Congresswoman,
doing to acknowledge her humanity.
if I purpose,
One at a time, guys.
if I
How hard is it to say? And she started to say it. She was like Kamala, Kamala. Like, just say her name right. Like, what?
purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns
You're
it.
normalizing
33
that kind of
times.
viciousness, man.
33
Okay.
times.
But it's the-
she
you're
was the
disrespecting
deciding
the
vote.
Senate
She was the
president.
vice on
President,
Joe
though.
Biden's bill. She
we
was
know
33
that-
times the deciding.
And again, like what? And also, okay, so let's take away the. Let's pretend like right now she wasn't sitting up here. You know, oh, I can't say her. I can say her name however I want. Let's take that out of the equation. Just blanketly saying she voted on 30 out of 30 of Joe Biden's bills. Like what? Like that is only effective to MAGA. That's not effective to anybody else because what were the bills? Like what were they? Just anything that Democrats do is bad. Like these people are next level unserious.
on
Yes,
Joe Biden's bills in
she
the
has
Senate.
to own them
She
because
owns
she
it.
was his vice president. However, we all know that the vice president is not setting the policies. The president is.
Her
and
vote
that's
did.
why she,
Her vote
that's
set
why
Joe
she
Biden's
should come
policies
out
33
and tell the
times that she
American
was the
public what she
tiebreaker in
thinks
the
about
Senate.
the issues because the American public is craving to know, is she going to pivot? Does she agree with what she said 4 years ago or not? Especially
Which
for
would
people
make
who
her a
haven't made up their
flip-flopper.
mind.
These people are. If you think these people are gonna win, I really don't know why. I'm just like if you think that these people are about to have some type of astounding victory in this election cycle, I don't even want to argue with you about it because it's I mean, like what is this shit? What is this? How I mean, what are y'all doing? There's absolutely no strategy and no plan. And again, Nancy is an adult. I don't know how she is. She late 40s, early mid 50s or something. Like she has lived plenty long enough to know that oh maybe I should just say her name correctly. You know, you got the whole damn planet lighting your ass up. I mean, the whole panel. Everybody on that panel was lighting her up, and no, I'm a woman. But there's other women on the panel who are lighting you up too. And girl, shut up. Trump warns Harris will enforce communist system where everyone gets health care. Yeah, that'll be so terrible. You know, make health care more affordable. That's can't have that.
Ohio State. I don't think people know who she is yet. When people
Okay, here we go. So this was one of the most ridiculous points of this whole thing that he did. And then later in the day, in the evening, he went and he was like, "Oh, the Medal of Honor is, you know, people who get that get shot up, and it's not like." You know, and here he is. Nobody knows who Kamala Harris is. People don't, you know, you could go to a random person on the street and ask what her last name is. Nobody knows. Okay, so are you telling me that you're not just losing, you are getting your in 3 weeks, you are now getting your ass kicked. You're not just getting beat by a little bit, you are getting destroyed in almost every imaginable metric. You are losing. So So you're losing in every metric to someone who nobody's heard of before. Nobody knows the vice president's last name, and I'm losing to her. Like this, oh my, like this man, there's no words for this. Like, what do you even say to this shit?
Know who she is yet. When people, because really people didn't know, you can ask the man on the street. I saw it on one of the shows today. They asked the man on the street, what's the last name of Kamala? Nobody knew. It's Harris. Nobody knew the last name.
Nobody
She's
knew.
a very strong communist lean. You're all going to be thrown into a communist system. It's a communist system. You're going to be thrown into a system where everybody gets health care.
You're going to be thrown into a system where everybody. I don't even think he wants to win. Like I really like, to me, Donald Trump seems like, you know, like when you're a little kid and you're like, or like a dog, you know, like when a dog is in trouble and they kind of like hide their face, like, if you can't see me, I mean, if I can't see you, you can't see me. You know, like a kid will go hide in the corner and be like, you know, I got my eyes covered. My eyes are covered, so you can't see me. Like that seems to be what he thinks is happening. Like if I can just exit stage right, if I can just exit stage left, exit stage right, everyone will forget that I exist. And no, bro, like, I mean, how he's literally not behaving like someone who wants to win this election. He is acting like he wants out. Like what? Like no one knows who Kamala Harris is. What are you talking about?
You're going to be thrown into a You're going to be thrown into a communist system. By the way, Willie, let's see here. Let me just check. The Dow over 40,000 yesterday, 40,500.
Yeah, you know, it'll be, you know, just like just like 1929. Oh, the stock market's doing really well. And then again, you know, like when Frank Luntz says stuff like, Trump still has her beat on inflation. How does he have her beat on that? What are you talking about? He doesn't. It's just, oh, we got Doctor Who Gives a F. What's going on? Good to have you here. Jolie's, you said she, yes, indeed. Indeed. All right, let's see. Exactly. Like that's literally how he's behaving. Like he's like, if I can somehow just screw it all up, then I can disappear. Like, no. Like, you know, good and well, he just wants to be on an island somewhere. All right, here we go with more, you know, Tommy Lahren. Please, Donald Trump, can you behave in ways that you never have before? Can you please start acting like someone that you have no capability of acting like? No, he can't. He can't. This is, yeah, true. It's Frank Loon, so he's got to say something. You're right, Fritza. Because again, it's like, how does he have her beat on inflation? What are you talking about?
Would everyone see it that way? But when you follow their link, the one they sent out, go to the YouTube and look at how Democrats and how pro this ticket people are receiving this, it's pretty positive. And they're saying, wow, look at the joy and the energy. And so I think there's a contingent of people that are liking this. And of course,
some people are, you know, yeah. Oh, who would have figured? Who would have figured that people would rather feel good than feel bad? You know, who could have guessed? These people are so stupid.
there are a lot of people that are going to say this is cringe inducing and they should be doing real interviews and real sit downs and taking questions from journalists instead of creating content, which is really what this is.
Oh, it's so cringeworthy. It's so cringe the way that they sit down and showcase that they get along and that they come from similar backgrounds, and that it's so cringe how relatable they are to the people. It's so cringe. But you know, but Donald Trump and Republicans who can't say Kamala's name right, y'all aren't cringe. You know, none of that's cringe. JD Vance, not cringe at all. This is so, Republicans are so just, they make me mad. Like they really do. I just.
But I think there's a contingent of people where this appealed.
Yeah, Tommy, to that.
A contingent of people. There's some people. Oh, no shit.
And look, I watched the full thing and it was interesting because it was like.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Like, I was watching a reality show. And
Oh, okay. That was a reality show, but not the reality show star himself. That's not a reality show. Oh, okay. Okay. And again, it's like it's what are y'all doing? What are you talking about? You know, Donald Trump, he's taking out Tic Tac. So this is inflation, a regular, but now when you go to the store, you can only get a small bottle of Tic Tacs.
And it went for 10 minutes. And like, yes, that was the first part, which was, more humorous and light. But then Kamala got into personal stories. And the reality show format, I immediately thought, does this work with Gen Z? I mean, I don't know.
It works.
You don't know? Then why do you have your job? Why were you hired for your job? Ultimately, what all of these people are supposed to be are political analysts. Oh, does this work? Oh, who knows? I don't know anything. Yeah, I'm a political analyst, but political analysts be pissing me off so hard. Like, do y'all understand how few pundits are actually halfway good at what they do? Even progressives are terrible at political analysis. I mean, across the board, almost every single person who has airtime really isn't good at political analysis. They're just not. Because most of the time what political analysts do is, this is how I feel about things. My feelings. I feel like this. That's not political analysis. Political analysis is what everybody's feeling, what these people are feeling, what those people are feeling. It's strategizing for different groups and demographics. It's not, this is what me and my clique feel. And of course, Fox News and the right are the absolute worst at it. But it's just like, you're a political analyst and you don't know if this is going to be effective.
It works with Gen Z and it works with millennials. And unfortunately, I think it works with a lot of independent and swing voters as well. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth, because they are, to your point, Molly, coming off as very positive. People might not feel positive where they are in their lives right now, but when they see somebody making light of a bad situation and making them feel better, for some people, that's going to work. The people that don't pay attention to the radical policies or how the economy's going or the
the economy, how the economy's going, the economy that's the best in the world. America has the strongest economy on the planet. Now, again, obviously, that doesn't mean that it's perfect when you look at the middle class and all of that stuff. But if you want to talk about the economy, you got to be real. America has the best economy on the planet. Not only that, but it's better than it was under Donald Trump, who, while he was in office, millions of people lost their jobs and the whole country was shut down for a year because of how he handled the pandemic. Oh, look at how terrible the economy is now. What are you what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
open border. And unfortunately, there are a lot of voters out there that don't pay close attention to the day-to-day as we all do. That's why I think the Trump campaign really needs to strike a positive tone. They need to make Donald Trump a little bit more relatable, maybe a little bit more positive. We understand that the Biden-Harris administration destroyed America, but every speech...
Oh, yeah. They destroyed him. Again, this doesn't sell. It just doesn't. How do you go back to talking about we have to make Trump relatable? He's not relatable. We have to make him positive. He's not positive. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris destroyed America. They destroyed it. What are you talking about? Yes, the way he mishandled the pandemic. Exactly. Like, the country was shut down almost entirely for over 365 days. Like, what? That's terrible. It doesn't get much worse than that. The economy, we got to get Trump back in there so that he can fuck things up all over again. Because that's all Republicans ever do. That is all Republicans do, is they get in office because Republicans don't believe in government. So, who needs the Department of Education? Who needs the Department of Energy? Who needs the Environmental Protection Agency? That's what Republicans do.
From him can't be that, because then people are going to say, well, this is just doom and gloom. We want some kind of optimism for the future. Donald Trump can do that. He's a very relatable person.
Shut up. Trump can't do that. And no, he's not a relatable person. I mean, and again, you got more stuff like this. I mean, the whole reason that Trump is in the position he's in is because Republicans like the bullshit that he does. That's why. because Republicans could have went with somebody else at any point in time. Republicans could have went with anyone else. And what would be the difference in policy? None. They like this. They like it. That's why right wingers love people like Andrew Tate and stuff like that, because they like the foolery. They enjoy it. It makes them feel like, oh, look at this guy who seems to get away with everything. I want to be like that. That makes me feel good. No, I don't think Booker. I don't think Mike Pence will endorse Trump. He said he wouldn't, but also at this point, I think it's what benefit does he really have? I could be wrong, but I don't expect him to endorse Trump. Again, Trump needs to stop behaving like a petulant child. Well, sure, but he can't, because that's what he is. He's a petulant child. If I were advising him, which I am, whoever's advising him, he's not going to listen. I would look him straight in the eye and say, sir, you need to shut up. You need to stop behaving like a petulant child and start focusing on what the American people want in a way that they want to hear it. Yeah, but he can't. And again, the only reason he won in 2016 is because, one, he was new, and more so than that is because Hillary Clinton is not good at campaigning. That's really why he won. And ever since then, he's just been messing everything up and showing his ass everywhere that he goes. That's what he's been doing. You sitting there talking about some Trump needs to be. It's 80 days left. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? How is he gonna change? He's been the same person for the last 78 goddamn years. Y'all, maybe he can make it. No, he's not. And again, at the end of the day, Donald Trump doesn't really want to be president. He doesn't. He just wants to not go to prison. That's what he wants. He don't want this job. Maybe he needs to be more positive. Even though.
And you're going to stop inflation, but we're going to have a crash, and we're going to have a crash like a 1929 crash if she gets in.
Why? Care to explain? Of course not, because he's an idiot.
You saw a gentleman.
If y'all can't tell, I'm really tired of Donald Trump.
Yesterday who got up, one of the top analysts in the world, frankly, and said that if Trump isn't elected, he predicts, and he's predicting you have a stock market crash like 1929.
Why? Because all you need to do is get, if you want to win, put Donald Trump in. That's all you got to do.
He also said the only time and the only reason the stock market has gone up, even though it had some bad moments recently.
What is he about to say? The only reason the stock market.
But I think we'll take a substantial lead. You saw the polls come out today. We're leading in most of the polls.
No, you're not.
But you'll have has gone up, even though it had some bad moments. He also said the only time and the only reason the stock market has gone up, even though it had some bad moments recently. But I think we'll take a substantial lead. You saw the polls come out today. We're leading in most of the polls, but you'll have
No, you're not, man. No, you're not. You saw the polls that came out today. We're leading in most of the polls. The only reason the stock market went up is because people think I'm going to win. No, actually, people think you're going to lose. That's what people think. Oh my God, this guy. Oh, yes. I'm definitely going to bring the same in, because we're going to be talking largely about the same stuff. But it's just like, dude. And again, how is that helpful to your cause? You really want your base to think that you're winning, because you ain't. And most of your base knows that you're not winning. It's only the ones that are super duper far gone, uncontrollably far gone, who think that you're in a good position. Come on, man. Hold on. Let's see, which one should we? Let's stay on topic with this, and then we're gonna get into Kamala's agenda versus Trump's agenda. Donald Trump's agenda is a joke. It is a joke. It doesn't even talk about anything. His agenda is like, make America great again. Like that's his agenda. Like it's I think it's 27 items listed, and it's like, number 1, end inflation. How? What are you going to do? It's to end inflation. Make America energy independent. Oh, you mean like how we are right now? Like it's a joke, just like him. And just like everyone who's backed him, this shit is pathetic. And it's like, it's so pathetic that it's sucking all the oxygen out of the room. Like, like criticisms against there's, whatever criticisms that Kamala Harris is going to get, it's going to come after she wins. I mean, let me not say it like that in terms of like real scrutiny, because on the other end, you got Donald Trump, like, who's still whining and complaining about the fact that he's not going against Joe Biden. I guarantee y'all, he's never going to stop crying about that. Ever, ever. For the rest of his life. And who told you to do this? Why are you even talking about this? This dude, let's see. During his speech, Trump recalled giving Adelson the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian, Trump said, adding, "It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That soldiers, they're either in a very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets or they're dead. She gets it and she laughs she's a healthy, beautiful woman." Like, this is such an unbelievable, unforced error. Why are you saying this out loud? What are you doing? Here we go.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's
no one asked, nobody asked you about this. Why bring this up? And here's some comments from Twitter. I legit can't believe this is real. The disrespect is legit dumbfounding and overwhelming. Trump dishonor Medal of Honor recipients. Our nation's highest military award for distinguished acts of valor. He deserves nothing but disdain and disqualifies himself from public office. So, again, every single day, he's like, what can I do to make sure that I not only lose this election, but lose really, really bad? Like, come on, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's amazing. But it's who he's always been at the end of the day. And this was the commentary that
to do exactly what you're talking about, right? He was next to groceries that have clearly risen in cost, but instead he was saying things like, I'm entitled to attack Kamala Harris. How do you think, and in your experience, how voters reacted to moments like that from Trump?
$150 million. That's how much it cost him. I'm pretty sure it is. I think that's the line. Is I think $150 million or something like that.
Expect it, but it doesn't mean that they appreciate it and they're going to vote for it. They've known Donald Trump since 2015. They have not known Vice President Harris. She can be defined, which is what Trump is trying to do. The problem is, whereas the campaign is focused on substance and where she's changed her point of view, Trump is focused on insults. If I were advising him, which I'm not, I would look him straight in the eye and say, sir, you need to shut up. You need to stop behaving like a petulant child and start focusing on what the American people want in a way that they want to hear it.
But again, the petulant childishness is why he is loved so much by Republicans. That's the whole reason why. Now, come on, man. They think that, oh, he's just the man. He is him. He is just him. You just put him in and you're going to win. Now, come on. That is personality cult. That's what that is. It is the epitome of a personality cult. All I got to do is have him in the game and we're going to take things over. And it's like on a day-to-day basis, he's doing stuff like this. And in the bet, and not just in the polls is he down, but now, in the betting markets, this dude is down by 10 points. Everyone thinks he's going to lose. With over $600 million in bets placed, The intense interest in the race is palpable. Like, again, if anyone believes that somehow Trump is going to pull this off, I don't know why. I really don't know why you think that. I don't. Like I don't know why you think that all of a sudden Trump's going to get his shit together. I don't know why you think that. This shit is unbelievable. I don't know. Let's see. We don't need to go over that more. Okay, we just watched that Medal of, I got a bunch of stuff pulled up with the Medal of Honor. And again, you pissing off Republicans. You pissing off everybody with this shit. Hold on. And now let's go to the Fox 5. Let's watch them whine and complain. Exactly, Fritz. He's acting like it's new to him, but it's not. Like, I'm telling you, like that, it's why Republicans love him, because Donald Trump is no different policy-wise than almost any other Republican that could have possibly been in his place. They like him. This is what they like. But now that he's losing, they're like, oh, it's like this is what it took to snap the Republican base into reality that, nah, this really ain't it. It took all this for them to finally come to the conclusion that, nah, I don't know about all this. And the general reaction of people who saw, and we watched it yesterday on the stream, of Kamala and Tim Walz sitting down. Like, I mean, look, unless you're just like a super hater for Democrats, which, all power to you, I don't blame you, but unless you're just a super, I will never ever like anything ever that Democrats do, like, how could you not have watched that 10-minute sit down with Kamala and Walz and not appreciated it, at least some? Again, the relatability, them talking about what the country needs, in stark contrast to Donald Trump talking about, in the last year, nearly 100% of the job growth has gone to migrants. Oh, okay. So no, Americans just aren't getting hired. And now, you got people complaining, why is Kamala an expert on tacos? Who said she was an expert on tacos? Because they're talking about it. Like, these people are losers. What are you doing? What's Trump doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all look like a bunch of babies just sitting around crying.
Everyone's been wondering where she is. Like, why doesn't she talk to the press? Why?
Because she don't have to. Who cares? Again, what she needs to do is win. Y'all are losing. Why are you even talking about this? Huh? Why? Why are you complaining about the fact that Kamala isn't doing a bunch of press conferences? Whatever she's doing is clearly winning. So who cares? Like, how is this going to help you win? How is this going to take votes away from Kamala?
Isn't she giving the sit-down interview to some agency, to some
I'm seriously, why are you talking about this at all? Why?
News agency? And
this is such a problem, then why is she winning?
We want to hear more about her policies. If you go to her website, there's nothing on there. Apparently, she's rolling out this economic policy today. People are curious about what she stands for, even though we know her voting record. But she hasn't sat down in 26 days. But she did release a video of Tim Walz.
Oh, so there is an interview.
They're interviewing each other.
Oh, fantastic.
Watch a little clip of this.
I have white guy tacos and
what is
like
that,
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
They said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota.
Black pepper? Well, but
this is Obama all over again. And what I mean is, in terms of when Obama completely broke Republican psyche. He completely destroyed the Republican psyche. They still ain't over the fact that a black man was president twice. They still haven't gotten over it. And now that a black woman is about to be president, they can't get over that either. I mean, because when Obama was in office, they were, oh, he eats cheeseburgers with mustard. That's so un-American. Like, oh, he has on a tan suit. Look at how fly and handsome he looks in that suit. That's just so terrible. I mean, there have to be how many of Fox's audience looked at that and said, oh, they're talking about tacos. I had tacos last night. Oh, this is such an outrage. It's so outrageous.
But why is Kamala an expert on tacos? Well, I mean, good point. That's your takeaway? I ain't going.
Yeah,
I mean, like she's dunking on him about tacos, right?
No, what?
What is she? I mean, I don't understand her
Will is
expertise
so
on
desperate
tacos.
for some unscripted moments.
And then
They're so desperate. They're so desperate. The way everything they're doing is working. This is a historic campaign. People gonna be talking about this campaign forever, because it is incredibly effective. It is. This shit is amazing what these people are doing. How impactful this campaign has been. Tim Walz, how he set the tone for this whole Republicans are weird shit. All the enthusiasm and the energy and the excitement that's being generated. Like what? Y'all should be taking notes.
And she went with, wait, he's white. Did she say white guy tacos are tuna and mayonnaise?
Well,
He
that
said-
wasn't the
he
word.
He said that.
Said white guy tacos.
And then she said, what is that? Tuna and mayonnaise?
Tuna and mayonnaise,
She
yeah.
couldn't even really get to what album she really likes and why. She just says all of it.
They talked about
All of
music.
it.
He says he's Bruce Springsteen. She said Aretha and Miles, and
All
she
of
gave a few. Yeah. Then they talked about cars. He owned an orange Chevy Camaro. That was his first car with an 8-track, and so it was just a.
I love them. I'm Will Kane. I'm a black Republican. All my friends are white. All the women I date are white. Everybody in my life is white. I'm with. Shut up. Black Republicans get on my nerves. Especially the ones who are like this, with your token black ass. You are just a token black person. You're a clown.
We learned nothing.
First of all, you can't say, I mean, the producer's like, no issues. I'm going to get to the issue.
No issues.
But it's also, it doesn't make any sense. You don't say Aretha Franklin and say all of them. You don't put the greatest or Miles Davis and say, yeah, all of the artists.
Yeah, because all these white people that I'm sitting on this couch with, they know all of Aretha Franklin's music. They didn't listen to all of Miles Davis's music. Everybody who's listening to me right now is an 80-year-old white Republican. But none of these people who are listening to you know shit about no damn Aretha Franklin or Miles Davis.
Artists as well. It's like they're the greatest for a reason. But again, even when she has just simple human moments where she should be able to go back and forth.
She's not natural.
She just
She can't do it. It's so bad. That's all this shit is.
Everyone on social media was saying this was fake, this was scripted, this was filmed.
These people are pathetic. I can't. I'm sorry. Well, that's one of the stories that we're going to be talking about on TYT. And of course, I'm not going to go as hard on him on TYT because it's not my platform, and I'm sure I will offend some people if I do. I'm definitely going to talk some shit, but it won't be as aggressive as it is right now. But dude, who do you think is listening to? What black fans do you have? Shut up. Get out of here. The fuck? All right, except nephew Ruckus. That ain't even Uncle Ruckus. That's nephew Ruckus. And again, why are you? Y'all done spend all this time. What is Trump doing? No, look at the Tic Tacs. Inflation. I got the Tic Tacs. Small little bottle of Tic Tacs. Wait till y'all see. Wait till you see Don. If you haven't seen it, wait till you see Agenda 47. Wait till you see what his campaign policies are. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's not a plan. It's just like 3 words per bullet point. And then what we got here? Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to go as hard on when I'm on TYT tonight. That's not gonna work. I know where I'm at when I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got this. God will never allow a woman to be president because of what happened in the Garden of Eden. That's such brilliant reasoning right there. But women have been leaders of countries before like that, and women are, you got women prime ministers. I don't know if you ever heard of Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth was something else. She was nothing to fuck around with. Queen Elizabeth, and she was years ago. So what are you talking about? God will never allow a woman to be president. And again, this is MAGA.
There were some mixed views on the idea of a woman president. What do you think about Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris, may I say this, and hopefully that you ladies won't get offended, but because of what happened in the Garden of Eden, there will never be an elected woman, whether she's...
I can't watch this. I can't. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk the type of shit that I have to say about an old black man like that, because I'm sorry. I can't do it. There will never, ever, even though there has been many times before, my man's has an IQ of 7. But yeah, like what? I mean, what? I mean, what do you? That's like Valentina Gomez type of stuff. Like, what do you even say to that? Like, okay, all right, let's just move on. Hold on. Okay, we already did that again. All right, let's check. Let's check some of this out. Let's check some of this out right here. Right, exactly. The man wasn't responsible. You know, it was all the woman's fault. Yeah, we need we definitely and meanwhile Project 2025 talking about some let's end the Department of Education. No. We how about we invest more into the Department of Education, because clearly we're needing it.
With Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket, the presidential race has reset.
Run the numbers. This is the gender gap.
But how much has it reset in terms of the gender gap among voters? That is what our Harry Enton has been looking at for you this morning, and he is here with us now. So set the scene. How are men and women responding to Harris? What's the big reason why Harris is gaining in the polls?
And that's kind of the whole point of Christianity. That is kind of the whole point, is to basically have some empathy and love and for people. That's kind of the cornerstone and the bedrock of what Christianity is supposed to be. It's actually a beautiful thing, but of course, people are people, so you know, people ruin everything.
Yeah, all right. It's the gender gap. It's something we've spoken about in politics for a long period of time, and we're really seeing it here. All right, let's take a look at the national polls first. This is Democrat versus Trump margin, and I want to point out this is average across the same pollsters. Look at Biden versus Trump, women and men. What we see is the gender gap is working in Donald Trump's advantage. He holds a 9-point advantage among men against Joe Biden, and Joe Biden only held a full 4-point advantage among women. But take a look now. Look at how the race has changed. Instead of having a 4-point advantage among women as Biden did, look at Harris's advantage. It leaps up to 11 points. In fact, men haven't changed their voting patterns at all, at least in the national polls. A 9-point advantage for Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, a 9-point advantage against Kamala Harris. What has occurred is women voters are flocking to the Democratic ticket. Look at that. Look at that. 4 points versus 11 points. That is the reason that Kamala Harris has turned this race around.
You said this is nationally, right?
This is national.
So what about in swing states?
What's going on in the swing states? So let's take a look at those Great Lake battleground states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This is among registered voters. What do we see here? It's a very similar picture. Biden versus Trump women. Biden has a larger advantage in those Great Lake battleground states, according to those New York Times Siena College polls, at 10 points. But again, that surge among women, we're seeing the same thing in those battleground states as we saw nationally. Kamala Harris up 17 points among women. Men, very little change. Donald Trump doing a little bit worse, but still a very clear advantage. But the same story in the swing states as we see nationally. The gender gap was working for Donald Trump against Joe Biden, and now it's working against him against Kamala Harris.
Is this the same, smaller, or bigger than? Can you put it in context? I mean, is it the same that we normally see?
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look. Let's go through time, particularly here. All right. This is the Democrat versus the Republican for president. Again, these are these key Great Lake battleground states: Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. 2020 and 2016 are final. These are the exit polls. Yeah. 2024 is now. Look at the women margin. Look at what's going on here. Look how much better Kamala Harris is doing among women voters. It was 11 points Hillary Clinton back in 2016, 13 points in 2020. Look at this margin now, 17 points. Interestingly, the gender gap becoming wider over time. It's much wider this year than what we're normally expecting, because in fact, Donald Trump is winning men voters by 15 points. That's better than he did in 2020 in these same states, and it's even better than he did in 2016, although just slightly better. But the bottom line here is Kamala Harris is winning this race right now, at least in these key battles.
There's more women in the world than men, too.
Battleground states because of what she's doing with women voters. Women voters are energized, and it is the reason that Kamala Harris turned a deficit that Joe Biden had into a lead.
And also, just really quick, when we talk about we do not know, because there's a lot that goes into it, that this is because she's a woman. It's just their support for her.
Correct.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't necessarily know the reason. We just know she's doing better with women voters, significantly better than Joe.
I mean, Kamala's been so consistently up in the polls. There's really not even that much to talk about at this point. Like, you know, all right, hold on. We got, let's see. Okay, now let's talk about Trump's transition team that he's going to fill with donors and his two idiot sons. You know, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are, you know, responsible for him picking JD Vance. Trump names major donors and adult sons to lead transition team. Former President Trump on Friday announced a leadership for his transition team that will steer policy and personnel efforts ahead of his potential return to the White House. Trump's official transition will be led by two top donors to his campaign, Lita McMahon, who previously served as head of the Small Business Administration during Trump's first term, and businessman Howard Lutnick, head of the financial firm Cantor Fitzgerald. McMahon and Lutnick will serve as co-chairs, Trump announced in a press release. His running mate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, will serve as an honorary chair, and his elder sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. Trump Jr. has spoken openly about his desire to have a hand in determining who might serve in a second administration to his father. I'm sure he would do such an excellent job sourcing that talent. I'm sure he would do just an amazing job at that. Saying during the Republican National Convention last month that he wanted to veto power. He wanted veto power to overrule picks he did not trust. I want to block the liars. I want to block the liars. I got to do it more nasally because he's always coked out. I want to block the liars. I want to block the guys that are, you know, pretending they're with you. I just want to block the bad actors. I just want to be a block. That's it. I just want to be a block. That's what he said. You know, and then he thought the cameras were done rolling, and then he and yeah, you know. Oh, and you know, if y'all know me, y'all know I had me a coke phase too. I used to do a whole lot of cocaine, so I know what's up with that. I know a cokehead when I see one. All right, let's see what we got here. No, we don't really need to go over that. Nah, we don't really need to do that. And I'm also going to do a shorter stream today than I have been because I'm going to be on TYT in a couple hours. So I want to make sure that I have some energy. You know what I mean? So, but we'll save the Trump agenda versus the Harris agenda for last. Again, Donald Trump's agenda is. All right. I think we're going to be talking about this this evening as well. He's accepted money. Candace Owens and Andrew Tate push conspiracy theory Donald Trump took deep state financial deal. A meeting of the minds. A meeting of the two brilliant minds. Republican figurehead Candace Owens generally always has former President Donald Trump's back. But now she and conservative commentator Andrew Tate are pushing a theory Trump made a deal with the deep state to ensure he remained out of jail in exchange for sacrificing some of his hardcore stances. What hardcore stances has he sacrificed? Quote, who's reading this? Owen says, it doesn't feel to me the same Trump from 2015. What's 8 years ago? What about 2020? What about that? What about everything since then? Ooh. And obviously, he's the better candidate. I want Trump to win as well. But it does seem that now he's accepted money that he can't be as hardcore about certain topics and certain issues he was back in 2015 when there was no chance he was going to win. No, he was doing much better in everything in 2015, in the polls and fun in everything. He was doing better. And what do you mean? What topics has he scaled back on? I mean, he's talking about a mass deportation as soon as he gets in. He's talking about yeehaw, whoop whoop de woo. I'm the reason why abortion is illegal all over the place. What are you talking about? Well, she's an idiot, so of course it's stupid. And Andrew Tate, who professed he's a fan of Trump, echoed similar sentiments. Something is fishy. I think something happened, Tate shared. Something came along at some point, and I think perhaps the deal was done. They said, you won't go to jail. Trump Tower will stay standing. Your kids will be safe in America. Everything's going to be okay. But you're going to have to bend on a few things, said Andrew Tate. Tate continued spewing his theory, noting his belief that somewhere along the line, something has been agreed to prevent post-presidency or post-death for his empire and his children. Such a brilliant man. Let's see. Interestingly, Tate did note he has no data to back up his thoughts, but said, just been around. I just been around. I just know. Well, there we go. A meeting of the minds. I don't have anything to back that up. But it is what it is. All right, let's see. Where we at now before we go into the agenda. Don't need to do that again. I'm cutting stuff a bit short today. All right, where are we at right now? Matter of fact, thank you. I thought that was that was the first time I think I ever really tried that impression, and I think I nailed it. I definitely nailed it. Let's just jump straight into Kamala's economic policies, and then I'll show you Trump's. I'll show you Donald Trump's, because again, it's a joke. It's like, huh? All right, here we go. Kamala's economic plan. What's in Kamala Harris's plan for the economy? Vice President Harris on Friday unveiled several ambitious proposals as part of her economic plan if she wins the presidency this year, which she's going to. The proposals range from cutting taxes, boosting housing construction, and a federal ban on grocery price gouging. Harris's campaign says the proposals mark just one part of her economic plan and will be a priority for her first 100 days in office if elected. Here are some of the highlights from the batch. Boosting the child tax credit. Harris's plan calls for beefing up the child tax credit to provide a $6,000 tax cut to families with newborn children, as Democrats have sought to drive a contrast with Republicans on the issue in recent weeks. The plan would allow for $6,000 in total tax relief for middle-income and low-income families for the first year of their child's life, according to a campaign fact sheet. It also calls for the restoration of an expansion to the child tax credit that was passed as part of a sweeping coronavirus relief package in 2021, known as the American Rescue Plan, pressing for a $3,600 per child tax credit for some families. The plan comes not long after Senate Republicans blocked a bill earlier this month that sought to raise the child tax credit amid some concerns over the work requirements for recipients. The plan also calls for expanding the earned income tax credit to cover those with lower income jobs who aren't raising children. The price gouging ban. The plan calls for what it described as the first ever federal ban on price gouging on foods and groceries. Though it doesn't offer much detail as to how the proposal will be carried out, we'll stay tuned for that. And if you think there's little detail here, wait till you see Donald Trump's plan. Oh my God! Again, it's like 3 words per bullet point. That's what it is. It's like, oh, okay. Let's see. Where were we? The proposal will be part of a larger effort aimed at lowering grocery costs and tackling inflation. The plan also calls for setting rules to ensure corporations, quote, can't unfairly exploit consumers to run up excessive profits on goods and groceries. as polls show inflation continues to be a top of mind issue for voters in the months leading up to the November presidential election. The plan additionally calls for, quote, new authority for the Federal Trade Commission and the state attorneys general to investigate and impose strict new penalties on companies that break the rules. Expanding affordable housing. Harris's plan pushes for the construction of 3 million new housing units over the next 4 years, along with what it described as the, quote, first ever tax incentive for building starter homes for first-time homebuyers. The plan calls for an expansion to an existing tax credit for businesses that build affordable rental housing, as well as a $40 billion federal fund to help boost construction, which will provide jobs in terms of more construction. The plan also details a proposal to make some, quote, federal lands eligible to be repurposed for new and affordable housing developments. The plan presses for the passage of the Stop Predatory Investing Act, which is aimed at countering rising home prices by targeting tax breaks for investors who purchase 50 or more single-family rentals. Helping first-time home buyers. Another plan Harris proposed builds upon a previous proposal from the Biden administration that sought to provide first-generation home buyers with $25,000 in down payment assistance, along with a tax credit for first-time home buyers. Congressional Democrats had previously sought to pass similar legislation as part of President Biden's sweeping Build Back Better agenda toward the start of his presidency, although the larger effort fell apart as the party struggled to unify amid concerns from moderates over the size and cost of the plan. Harris's campaign said in a fact sheet that the vice president's plan seeks to simplify and significantly expand the Biden plan by providing an average of $25,000 for all eligible first-time home buyers, while ensuring full participation by first-generation home buyers and more generous support for first-generation home buyers. Limiting taxes on tips. This will. I'm good. It's good they put limiting, because the no tax on tips that's not happening. Harris also voiced support for ending taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers last week, catching some Democrats by surprise after former President Trump pitched a similar plan earlier this summer. But their plan's different. It's like, if you're a hedge fund owner and you get, then you won't have to pay taxes on those tips. The Harris plan is more like if you're a waiter or a waitress. But again, I don't really anticipate that that's going to happen, because so much money is made via tips. Even and a lot of people who make good money make it through tips too. So we'll keep our eyes on that. The moment came during a rally Saturday night. Okay, so the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimated this week that exempting tip income from federal income, as well as increasing the minimum wage, could add between $100 billion and $200 billion to the nation's deficit in a 10-year window. In other words, ending taxes on tips is not going to happen. Okay, so that's that right now. Let's contrast that to Donald Trump's plan, right? Let's check that out. We got Banjo Queen. What's going on? I'm catching up with the comments because I still got the one screen going. Okay, now let's contrast that, with Donald Trump's genius policy agenda. Look at this, man. Look at this. Let's go in a row. Agenda 47. Read the official 2024 Republican Party platform. 1. Seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. Okay. Seal the border. The migrant invasion. The invasion. That's number 1. The invasion of migrants. Seal the border. Stop the invasion. 2. Carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. End inflation and make America affordable again. How? You're just going to end inflation? I mean, again, what we just read for Kamala's plans wasn't like super in depth, but at least there was a skeleton to it. There's absolutely no skeleton to this whatsoever. But yeah, okay. Make America the dominant energy producer in the world. By far, we already are the most dominant energy producer in the world. Stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. Oh, you mean how Donald Trump he kept outsourcing even more when he was president. Joe Biden brought, what was it, like 200,000 offshore jobs back into the country, something like that, like 200,000 manufacturing jobs. He brought them back here, versus Donald Trump and generally Republicans who want to outsource things because it's cheaper for corporations to not have to pay people. Large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. Yeah, okay, no, that's not happening. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. What is this? What does this mean? What does this mean? Defend our Constitution. I'm Donald Trump. I called for the banning of the Constitution so that I can remain president, even though I lost. But I want to defend the Constitution. Number 8, prevent World War III. Restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East. That okay. And build a great okay, here we go with this. And build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country. They really put this on the agenda. Build a great Iron Dome missile defense system over the entire country. This is do you know how much that shit would cost? And not even just cost, like we don't need it. Like we don't need this. We do not need this. In the weaponization of government against the American people. Again, what does this mean? In the weaponization of government against the American people. But it's totally cool that Republicans want to make it harder for people to vote, and want to make it so that if you're a woman, you don't have any control over the outcome of your life, stuff like that. But yeah, they want to end the weaponization of government, whatever that means. Stop the migrant. You already said this in number 1, basically, but here we go. They have to repeat it. Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Demolish the foreign drug cartels. Okay. Crush gang violence and lock up violent offenders. Demolish the foreign drug cartels. I don't know how you're going to do that, especially considering the fact that the cartels wouldn't exist if we didn't buy their drugs. But we Americans love our drugs, including pharmaceutical companies. So yeah, good luck with that. What about those drug cartels? Because they're cartels too. Rebuild our cities, including Washington D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Okay. Strengthen and modernize our military, making it without question the strongest and most powerful in the world. It's already the strongest and most powerful in the world. So, okay. Keep the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. Okay. All right. Fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement age. Even though when Donald Trump was in office, he was continuously trying to make cuts on that. And Republicans are always trying to make cuts on that because they're always cutting taxes and giving breaks to people who don't need them at all. So they got to make up the difference by stealing from the middle class. Number 15, cancel the electric vehicle mandate and cut costly and burdensome regulations. What regulations? Which ones? Cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. So, well, y'all want to get rid of federal funding for public schools anyway. So you could, endlessly move the goalposts with this. Any school pushing critical race theory, that could mean literally anything. Radical gender ideology, that could literally mean just allowing people to be openly gay or openly trans or openly whatever they are. So that's an endless goalpost right there. Keep men out of women's sports. Because that happens all the time. Men are just all up in women's sports, and even at that, it's like, how does this impact most people at all? I don't really. Okay. Deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. Ooh, woohoo! That's pretty stark right there. Deport. Where are you going to deport them to? What does this even mean? Deport pro-Hamas radicals? Well, okay, so obviously to them, a pro-Hamas radical is just somebody who supports Palestinian lives. Clearly, But you know, where are you going to deport them to, especially if they were born here? And you know, most of the college students who were protesting this were born here and on American soil. So where are you going to deport them to? Where are you deporting them? You know, you send some of them to Mexico. You're going to send some of them to Gaza. No, if you love the Palestinians so much, why don't you just go to Gaza? Is that what you're going to do? Okay, I don't really understand what they're getting at with this. Secure our elections, including same-day voting, voter identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. Secure our elections. Okay, here we go. Hold on, what is this? Booking inquiries. Unite our country by bringing it to new and record levels of success. What does that mean? What does that mean? Even though the Biden administration is beating the Trump administration on pretty much everything economic. Again, when Donald Trump was in office, millions of people lost their jobs and the country was shut down for a year, and people are still dealing with the repercussions of that. Yeah, again, you know, did I not tell y'all? Did I not tell y'all how pathetic this is? What is this? Seal the border and stop migrant invasion. End inflation. Just end it. Just end it. I mean, okay, yeah, that's so that's that. That's that right there. But yes, thank y'all for joining me. It was a shorter stream today because I'm going to be on TYT in 2 hours. Yes, in 2 hours I will be on the power panel, so you can catch me on the power panel for hour 2, and I will also be on the bonus episode for the members. And I'm probably going to stream this weekend as well. I gotta get. Yes, exactly. Remove the right to peaceful assembly, and just you know, deport pro-Hamas radicals, aka people who are who care about Palestinian lives, people with some empathy. Just deport them. Doesn't matter where. You know, just send them off. Okay. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for everything that you do. I truly appreciate it. We are growing, and we are going to continue to put in the work. I got a lot more programming that I'm working on. And over the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna get going with that. Catch me tonight on the power panel. Y'all have a fantastic evening, and I'll probably stream tomorrow and Sunday too. So thank you for everything.